Hey guys, welcome back and thanks for tuning in to my review of the Ruger follow-through knife. Produced by CRKT and designed by Matthew Lurch. This is the follow-through compact. I will also show you the full-size version as well as some of the other knives from the line. And I gotta be honest, when I first heard that Ruger was coming out with a line of knives, I wasn't so excited. I mean, come on, how many of you guys get super excited about knives that are branded with, some gun manufacturer's name on it? I generally don't, because I don't perceive them to be well designed, really interesting as far as steels are concerned. That's not my perception. But when I heard that CRKT was behind these, then I got interested. Okay, and then I got this one in hand thanks to the guys at CRKT who sent this one to me. Actually gave it to me while I was there at SHOT Show. I didn't plan on reviewing it at first, but this thing became, I don't know, man. I really, really like it. So I'm going to cover it in full. But that's kind of the takeaway I want you to take away, I guess, from this video, is that the knives that they've produced together, CRKT and Ruger, are actually very cool, very interesting, and I think you'll be convinced by the end of this video. So let's get into some of the design points and talk about why I think the follow-through, particularly this compact version of it, is very cool. Number one, IKBS ball bearings. Bam. Super loosey-goosey on that pivot, and yet perfect centering and also perfect lockup. Side to side, no movement. Front to back, no movement. Yes, you can see it's a liner lock, and there's a look at the liners and how they look. We've got sort of a Zytel plastic kind of a handle there with a cool design to it. Look at that. What's that remind you of? 1911, guys? Yep, 1911 grip panels, right? And that's the intent. And with all these knives, they've got sort of a very tactical or firearms kind of feel to them, which is awesome. Gigantic jimping there on the back for gloved hands to lock into it pretty well. These cutouts, pretty much for no reason at all except aesthetics. A big, cool-looking sweep coming up the blade like that. Just massive aesthetic points right there, in my opinion. Just a great looking knife overall, and you can see that pocket clip and how that is designed with this little standoff holding it up and then it coming straight across, and that is reversible to this side as well. Speaking of standoff, you just got this one back strap right here, and that's it. Otherwise it's full flow through design. No clear lanyard hole of any sort that I'm seeing. Honestly, I don't use lanyards for most of my knives, so it's not a big deal. But overall, just a great looking knife, well put together, well designed, aesthetically, and is just as far as, kind of the usefulness is concerned, very, very good. Oh yeah, the steel, I didn't cover that. ACR13 MOV. So, Chinese produced or Chinese made, I believe, or maybe Taiwan, I can't remember for sure, probably China. You're going to get ACR13 MOV. It's just what you're going to get. Stone wash, though, it looks really cool. And what can you say about ACR13 MOV? It loses its edge relatively fast compared to some of the higher end steels. That said, it's affordable, takes an edge very easily and very quickly, and that edge is very sharp. So, it's okay. And for the price range, it's not bad at all. I think it's like $42 for this knife right here, and we'll cover some of the other knives here in a second. So there it is, the follow through. I'm really digging it. I think you'll dig it too. Let's do that now. Let's get into some of the other Ruger knives and talk about why this line is pretty interesting. Check this out. Bam! Yeah, that's the same knife except large. Doesn't look the same at all. It's because it's got a totally different blade shape, obviously, with more of a reverse tanto, almost sheep's foot tip to it. Those nasty, nasty serrations, which are actually pretty good and sharpenable. CRKT does a great job with those serrations. Just overall, it's a bit heftier in hand, as you can tell there, and looks like it's going to be a nice, tough knife, and that's how it compares size-wise. A couple other ones here. This is the Harsey Go In Heavy. There's two versions of this, and this one comes with a sheath and no pocket clip. This is the smaller version. I opted to bring you the smaller version because, I don't know, the large version is just obnoxious. It's cool, but I would never ever buy it or use it. And so I thought I'd bring you the smaller version. And it's got those VEF serrations on them. Real sweet. Those cut like a mofo, man. They're really good. And then aluminum handle scales on it. Liner lock, as you can tell. Cool knife. Lastly, this is the Crack Shot by Steigerwalt. And it has their, what is their spring assist called? Fire something or Fire Safe? I think that's what it is. Where you actually have to push down. The way it kind of locks in like this. I think, watch that ball bearing. Yeah, see that? So you have to actually push that down in order to get it to pop out. So you can't just pull the blade. You've actually got to push down on the stud and then fire it out. And it's got that spring assist to it. So that's not a bad knife at all. As far as design is concerned, it's a little handle heavy. The balance point is back here, way back there. So in a way it feels quick in your hand, but I like my balance point to be a little further out. Even so, good blade shape. It's going to be 8CR13 MOV steel as well. And I believe that is, what is that? Is that a Zytel or is that an aluminum? No, that's got to be a Zytel. I'm pretty sure that's a Zytel scale on there. You can see how that's put together as well, as far as the back strap is concerned. But overall, it looks like it's going to be a really good knife. Pocket clip there, you can see how that's set up. And it does not appear to be reversible. Cool looking pivot screw. Oh my gosh. Wicked, dude. What's that remind you of? Yeah, cylinder of your revolver. Super cool. Once again, they've basically looked for ways to bring aesthetic and functional elements from your handguns into these knives. And that is so cool. So not only do we have just some interesting knives in general, but branding them Ruger and actually putting some design elements to them that makes sense. I love it. I love it. Now, I had a viewer one time ask me, hey, could you put in something I'm familiar with from everyday life for size comparison? So here we go. I don't have like a quarter or anything handy, but I do have a Pokemon card. So that's what everything looks like in comparison to a Pokemon card. Just for the compact follow-through, which again has been my tester, let's go ahead and bring in what? As far as price range, I don't know what we have here. Oh, we got this here. Kershaw Leak. Very close in price. Very close in functionality as well. And we probably have, oh, you'll want to see this one. If I can get it to flick out. Dang, that one gets stiff sometimes. Ken Onion Ripple, also from CRKT. And yep, I'm digging into the drawer behind me real quick for some good price, well-priced knives. And there's a Spyderco Tenacious. Pretty comparable, I'd say. And I think that'll do it. We could go longer, but what's the point? You guys know what knives look like, and you've seen most of these before. Let's get some weight and size on this knife real quick. Here's our scale. Bring that in, and let's see what the follow-through compact weighs. I can turn that sucker on, please, if you don't mind. Comes in at 3.3 ounces. That's fantastic weight. Great EDC kind of a weight to it. Now let's look at some of the size information, and that'll come in at, looks like 7 3/4. Yeah, something like 7 1/4, or 7 1/2, 7 3/4 inches total in length, and like 3, not quite 3 1/2. So good size in general. CRKT follow through, as well as the entire CRKT Ruger line, gets a win in my book. I think they've actually done something pretty cool with these knives, and just some winning designs overall. So I kind of count these as CRKT knives, even though they are branded Ruger, just because they've got CRKT quality and the excellent CRKT design going on. And that's my review of the Ruger follow-through. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm the Late Boy Scout. We'll see you later.
Good to see the Late Boy Scout again. Thank you for coming by the booth. We always appreciate your presence.
Would never miss us.
And just want to say we appreciate you guys out there in the Late Boy Scout community. You've been a good part of CRKT, and just appreciate your support of coming by the booth.
Absolutely.
I wanted to run you by some really cool everyday carry knives that we've got coming out this year.